Hey guys, so per request, I'm going to do a video. The week's assignment, definitely make sure that 9 and 10 are done, and then your whole packet should be done. And then for Connexus, you had post 11, and then the quiz it was the first quiz that was area, circumference, and perimeter. I'm not doing a Google Meet on Thursday, so I'm going to do 2 videos to hopefully help you with this week's work. So this is coming from Math 1, Day 9, and then I'm going to look at question number 1, and it just says to compare the functions. So what I did was I wrote down the equation because all of the answer choices are talking about the slopes and the y-intercepts. So your y-intercept was 4. And then when you pick 2 pretty points and do rise over run, you rise 4 and run 5, and it's negative. And then over here, your y-intercept is where x is 0, and then I just picked the bottom 2 points, and I did like -10 minus -6 over 10 minus 5. When you keep change, you get -4/5. So these guys have the same slope, different y-intercepts, and when you look at your answer choices, that matches B. Function J has a y-intercept of 4. Function K has a y-intercept of -2. So the functions are not the same. They do have the same slope, but they're not the same unless they have the same slope and the same y-intercept. So number 1 would be B for day 9. And I'm just going to pick a few of these to go over because several of them are the same. The next one I want to go over is number 3. So you are given a graph for Landscaping Company A, and you're given a table for Landscaping Company B. And it says which statement is true about the companies. So what I did was I actually came up, when I looked at my answer choices, all of them were about slope. So I actually found the slope of each. So looking at my pretty points and rise over run, you can see there's a pretty point right here on the x-axis, and then there's a pretty point here. So you would rise 60 and run 20. And then if you simplify that, you would get -3/2, which is -1.5 in decimal form. And then over here, I just picked 2 points. I did 0 minus 20, which was -20. And then if you do 88 minus 72, you get 16. And then I converted that into a decimal form. And the one that it matches is C. Landscaping Company A uses 25 hundredths of a gallon more than Landscaping Company B. I did not do question 2 because it's very similar to the other ones that we've been doing. So you guys can do 4 and 5. And again, they're analyzing slope and the y-intercept. Just as a reminder, slope is a constant rate of change. And then your y-intercept is your starting point. And then that's going to bring me to day 9, number 6. So things that I get caught up on is the words. So when I see something that really is going to make or break my answer, like the greater rate of change, it's not asking you for this rate of change. It's asking you for the greater rate of change, which would mean like which one of these has a larger slope than the one that you have. So I actually wrote the equation of my line, but really I just needed to know the slope because rate of change is just slope. So I just picked 2 points, and I did 4 minus 3 over 8 minus 6, changing y over changing x, and I got 1/2. So I just needed to figure out which one of these was larger than 1/2. The majority of the time, kids will choose C. And the reason is because they say, oh, they're the same, yada, 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 but you're not looking for the same. You're looking for a slope that is greater. D was already in slope-intercept form, and that slope was lower. B, when I solved it for y, I got 3/7, and I converted that to a decimal. And 0.43 or 43 hundredths is lower than 5/10. A was our answer because if I solve for y, I subtracted 3x and then divided everything by -5, and I got 0.6, so that one was larger, and that was number 6. All right, and then number 10, all of your answers are asking you for the difference of your first function's y-intercept and then your second function's y-intercept. So the f of the x function, really easy to get your y-intercept. That's just 5. But over here, in order to get the y-intercept, I mean, you could plot them and then figure out your rate of change and, you know, find where it hits the y-axis. I just wanted to save some time. And in the graphing calculator, I entered these in L1, these in L2, and I hit stat, calc, line, reg, and this was the equation that I got. So the 5.5 was my y-intercept, and it's just asking me if I would subtract f of x from the g of x function, and then 5.5 minus 5 would give me 5/10, so number 10 should be C. And that would be your answer for 10 on day 9. Again, a lot of these are pretty similar questions for day 9. And in the next video, I'll go over day 10.